Welcome to our Get the Scoop with Smirks podcast, episode 11. Today we'll be breaking down ExpoWest, exploring the various products and trends we saw as we cruised the show floor in Anaheim last month. In our product feature segment, we'll dive into some of the ingredients that Smirks offers that track with some of the trends that we saw at Expo. And then in the third segment, we'll wrap things up with our market report. In case you're newer to the industry and haven't attended before, Natural Products ExpoWest is the largest natural and organic products trade show in the United States. It's held every March in Anaheim, California. This year, there are over 3,000 exhibitors and more than 65,000 people in attendance. Smirks brought a huge team of 11 people, and our group exhibited in the organic marketplace and in the organic section of Hall B. This gave our team a great opportunity to not only talk to people at our booth, but also to explore what's new and innovative in the natural and organic product world by walking the show. My esteemed colleagues, Jessica Warden and Zach Schwint, are here with me today to share their experiences and discuss what they saw this year at ExpoWest.
Hey, Garrett. I'm excited to chat with you and Jessica about ExpoWest. To start off, I noticed that regenerative organic products were much more widespread than last year. In the organic marketplace, nearly every third booth was showcasing products that were labeled as regenerative organic certified. And RO certified products were sprinkled throughout other halls as well. There was everything from RO certified coffee, tea, chocolate, rice grains, peppers, kelp chips, meat, dried fruits, as well as some soap and hygiene products as well. Garrett, what are your thoughts on the RO certified trend?
I think your take is spot on. I'll tell you, it's been just in the last 2 or 3 years that I really started seeing regenerative organic certified products at ExpoWest. Prior to that, it was few and far between. This year, it's as if the number of manufacturers and CPG brands offering the RO certified products increased dramatically. Recently I read an article entitled "Understanding Why Regenerative Agriculture is the Fastest Growing Green Theme." The Food Institute published this in February of 2024, and the gist of their article, that's based on Spin's trend reports, is that many consumers still see sustainability as an optional must-have for organic brands, as they're skeptical of the greenwashing of the industry, where unsubstantiated claims are widespread. But where sales of some sustainable product categories are down, such as Fair Trade Certified that dropped 26%, sales of certified regenerative organic products are up 39%. RO Certified defines regenerative organic agriculture as a collection of practices that focus on regenerating soil health and the full farm ecosystem. This includes farming practices like cover cropping, crop rotation, low to no till, compost, and zero use of persistent chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Regenerative organic is believed to contribute to carbon sequestration and storage in the soil. That's pretty cool. Some consumers believe that regenerative practices go a step further than the typical sustainability efforts, and therefore they see the value in spending their dollars on RO certified products. I also noticed a variety of products that were upcycled, such as items made from coffee cherry pulp, peel-on dried fruits, frozen banana treats made from irregularly shaped bananas, candy made from upcycled fruits. Pretty cool stuff overall. They're using a lot more of what traditionally would have been waste to make their finished goods. Jessica, you're up next. What caught your attention at Expo?
Oh, a better question would be what didn't catch my attention at Expo, Garrett. I was actually chatting with one of our fellow trading partners, and she was speaking about how the inner magpie was just like, ooh, at everything, because there was so much sparkle and color and all kinds of bright, vibrant brands. And I certainly thought that resonated with myself as well, because I found myself just stopping and looking at all the different things to take in. So all that's to say is there was a lot to take in at Expo. Like you mentioned, with all of the different folks exhibiting, there is just, it's just a lot to take in. So if I did have to call something out, though, as far as trends go, I would say that the multitasker in me is really jazzed about this continuation of functional foods, where basically, you're eating it for, sustenance and nutrients, but then there's also a double whammy usually layered in there with some other type of ingredient. I noticed this trend last year, and actually I think we chatted about it on our last Expo Wrap podcast. but definitely saw that it's alive and well this year. It seems to even have reached maybe some new heights where there's some new ingredients being thrown in the mix, new products and brands that are really embracing this trend with consumers. Uh, so there's just something about where when you're walking down the aisles and you're seeing all these new snack categories and everybody's kind of bragging about gut health, that got me kind of digging in a little deeper. And I did a quick Google search before chatting with you guys. And did you know, a fun fact, that your gut creates 30 neurotransmitters and also is like responsible for 90% of the serotonin production in your system. So
I didn't know that.
I
No.
didn't know that either.
Seems
And so I
important.
just thought, was like, oh, well, this kind of explains why brands like, the snack bars, the chocolate cup makers, the beverage makers, they're all just kind of gunning after that big gut health market share. So we saw a lot of fermented items that represented that at the show. Grilled pickles. Did you know grilled pickles were a thing? Apparently, that's a thing now.
Those are on the
Delicious.
top 5 list of things that I saw at Expo.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I
recommend
don't
it.
even know if I walked past that booth, but I heard everybody talking about it. So it was a big hit at the show. And then if you didn't find the grilled pickles and you didn't find the fermented gut health items, there were a lot of probiotic and prebiotic products that we were seeing around. Some were, fermented with including, different fermented nuts. We saw a lot of kimchi, even kimchi pancakes. So again,
Ah,
really adding some flavor to your
very innovative.
breakfast.
Yeah, didn't see that one.
The savory element, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then there are also just other various snack foods and bars and chocolates. We saw some stuff that had a lot of added caffeine, maybe in not your drinkable type fashion like normal. And then a lot of things that we were looking at were adaptogens. One that has kind of been in the market, but I, again, continue to see it, is ashwagandha, where it's just being added to different products that maybe wouldn't traditionally have it. But folks, believe that it helps reduce stress levels and aids the immune system. So it's definitely taken on a life of its own in the natural food space.
And that's a cool one because there's actually been a lot of legitimate scientific studies and work around the benefits, of the ashwagandha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ashwagandha and maca have both, I thought, been pretty prevalent, in that space.
Yeah.
I actually saw some ashwagandha extract in a water product, and I thought that was a big trend this year at Expo West. There's a lot of different water products, especially sparkling waters. It's definitely not a show where you have to worry about where to satisfy your thirst. Um, Take your pick of functional waters. I mean, I saw various ingredients being highlighted in probiotic sparkling waters. Some beverages were incorporating apple cider vinegar, which was thought also to help improve,
Sure.
digestion and gut
Yeah.
health. I noticed that electrolytes were big this year.
Yeah.
Some products were also incorporating coconut water or coconut water powder and other added alkaline. The electrolyte drink categories seem to be targeted towards different demographics, such towards women or maternity. You could also find quite a bit in the organic section as well on the waters, which I thought was cool. These brands appear to be responding to a need for healthier alternatives to like big name sport drinks like Gatorade or whatever.
Right.
And they were offered in either ready to drink or powdered format. There are also various alkaline water products, and as I understand it, alkaline increases your pH levels. So some people, believe this is, thought to help increase your energy and improve digestion. And I did find waters with adaptogens as well, Jessica.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I think that my kids would probably appreciate, me to be not so sassy and acidic. Probably they need me to up my alkaline levels. Maybe they'll find that, but we're more on the drinking the dysfunctional water in our household. So sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Shifting gears though, I noticed it like same in the drink, kind of responding to the big name drinks, where we see a lot of things with lower sugars, more natural sweeteners. We see that a lot with beverages, but now it's in snacks often, and so we're seeing a lot more of a widespread look at the like people staying away from cane sugar and going more towards coconut sugar, date sugar, maple sugar, coconut nectar, fruit powders, honey. And a lot of that is, I think, related to the fact that you can kind of label it a little bit more cleanly, where you're, not necessarily having to call it an added sugar. It's just a natural sweetener. And so we're definitely seeing those products, and even maybe to a lesser extent than before, but certainly stevia and monk fruit are still alive and well at the shows, and definitely trying to generate some attention there.
Yeah, agreed. That alternative sweetener trend just continues to grow. A lot of reduced and zero sugar beverages, snacks, and everything in between. On a different note, I have to mention one of the coolest products I saw at the show. We're used to seeing tons of plant-based everything, plant-based nuggets, plant-based meat analogs of every shape and form. Uh, I saw for the first time plant-based bacon, and it was seasoned shredded coconut instead of seasoned smoked pig. Jumped out. It was just an amazing, great tasting alternative to a meat based bacon, and I'm a bacon fan. I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference from a flavor standpoint. It was very cool.
That's awesome. I think I've seen a similar product before, but to your point, you could kind of tell. You could definitely you could tell it was something mimicking. So it's neat to see that the folks are just still continuing to do research and development and find these alternatives that are so closely mimicking the thing that they're trying to emulate.
Yeah, the innovation in that space is definitely improving the experience of those products from a few years back when they first kind of emerged.
Sure.
I never would have thought that the grilled pickles would have been tasty. They were, as we mentioned, amazing. I don't know.
Never thought about grilling a pickle.
Yeah, who'd have thought? I don't know if it was the grilling or the
spending
flavors.
my whole life doing, but
just an outstanding. I've deep fried pickles, but never grilled them. So
pickle in any form, but that was a great product.
Yeah.
What else caught your eye, Zach?
I feel like protein-rich products were still a big thing. I saw pasta with added protein. Vegan cheese puffs with protein, double protein oats. But another thing that stuck out to me as well were like nostalgic flavors and those products that were kind of highlighting, the old-fashioned flavors from their grandma's kitchen. That kind of thing. Like I saw traditional style buttermilk biscuits, like with a twist. They were gluten-free, made from almond flour, which was cool.
Nice.
I also saw some chocolate zucchini bread, a portable pocket-style snack version of peanut butter jelly. There were some classic flavors like birthday cake, red velvet. Cookie dough is also, I thought, very, relevant at this show. It seemed like that was in granola, protein, bars and shakes and all kinds of stuff. So I thought nostalgic flavors extended into the freezer section as well. There was some Neapolitan frozen traditional ice cream made with oat milk and flavored with natural vanilla. So I thought those were some of the highlights that I saw.
Yeah, I definitely agree. One of my daughter's favorite things to say lately is, "That's my childhood, Mom. That's my childhood." And she just keeps referring to like the things that my mom made for her. And she's only 13, and she's already having like the understanding of what a nostalgic flavor is. And I think
that's cool.
As adults, we very much have that same thought of, you come across something, you're like, that was my whole childhood. So it's kind of fun to see when you look back at the things we were eating as kids and saw how terribly nutrient poor they were. Now that folks are making these innovations and turning something that we loved as a kid growing up and actually giving some nutrient density to it and making us feel a little bit better about consuming those things. It's kind of cool. So it lets us be, healthier yet still indulgent and a lot more functional across the board. So if you kind of go back to, us as adults craving that, nostalgic flavor, if you string it all together, it really seems like consumers are still looking for that healthier yet indulgent functional snacks, and often a nostalgic and classic snack reformulated to hit those nutritional targets is just what folks are really trying to find in their pantries and refrigerators and freezer sections. So next thing you know, consumers are feeling good and enjoying every bit of their protein-rich vegan cheese puffs. Even if it doesn't give you the Cheeto fingers that you are craving, it'll still hit those nostalgic, like, I need my Cheetos cravings. So the other cool thing, I think, Garrett, you were one of the ones who pointed this one out to me, was there was innovation around pistachios, and there was this really cool pistachio oil and pistachio cream. And I think you came up from the basement areas, kind of where it was located, and you were just like, everybody's got to go try this. And I have to say, I did try it, and it was like you said, one of the top 5 snacks I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, vegan pistachio cream was at the top of my list. It's outstanding.
Yeah. And then there was one that I saw, it was barley milk. So I thought that was a new plant, a new and interesting plant-based milk. We've seen a lot of iterations of plant-based milks over the last couple years, but I felt like that one was one I haven't seen. And kind of in that same vein of the dairy section, as most of my coworkers know, I am a huge fan of butter. I would probably eat it on a spoon if allowed. And so the snack lines that were basically the flavored butters, I think they're getting closer to folks like me, where I could just eat a spoon of the black garlic butter, the pesto butter, the garlic and shallots. There's truffle and miso and bruschetta flavor. So sign me up for that section next year. That's where I'll be looking.
Taking a lunch break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everything's better with butter. Did you notice how companies continue to innovate with mushrooms? Some are calling it the shroom boom.
Rhyming.
The actual science is still a work in progress, but the fungi are believed by some to help benefit mood and focus. So pretty cool potential benefits there. Now consumers can partake in shroom gummies, various beverages, ground coffee, alongside the coffee creamers that are already available in your local grocery store. A lot of great options and formats for the shroom market.
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody's just trying to walk around and just be like, hey, I'm a fun guy, And so the more shrooms they eat,
see what you did there.
The more you can say that. Yeah. It was a terrible joke. Lisa, you should edit.
I liked it.
But no, I couldn't help but notice a lot of honey and bee products as well. So we talked a lot more about natural sweeteners, and it seems like honey is a very natural progression in this category. So there was a lot of product ideation around honey and honey flavor. Aside from just standalone honey, there was honey being added to salmon jerky, incorporated into ice cream, added to marinades and snack bars. One example was it was upcycled with oats and wildflower honey, which is basically an upscale version of the classic honey and oats cereal that many of us grew up eating. So
those like free range bees.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Are those like free range bees, the wildflower honey?
Zach, do you have a free range bee joke?
I thought they were all free range, but
no, some of them have little leashes, and their beekeepers take them out.
We need to start asking for, bee-free slavery statements on our.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Ingredients. Yeah.
Well, when we get those QA documents, we'll be able to buy honey that was, ready to drink water, and some of them been incorporated into kombucha. So. And then just that trend that we've seen probably for the last couple of years is hot honey and hot honey flavor snacks. So it seems like that's just all the rage. So that combo of honey and the sweet and the spicy, that's definitely something that is in snack aisles pretty hot and heavy right now.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see how prevalent honey was at the show as well. Yeah,
for an ingredient that's been around for eons, it was very much more in the spotlight this year than any other year.
All of a sudden trendy. So moving away from food and beverage, I saw a lot of eco-friendly laundry products. Thin soap sheets that you can stick in your washer are super lightweight and easier to ship than big containers of liquid detergent. Shampoo and conditioner bars continue to pick up steam as well. So this trend of moving away from liquid form of shampoo and conditioner and even more laundry detergent to a more condensed, easy to ship form is on the rise.
I've never actually tried a shampoo and conditioner bar. Have you guys?
Never.
No, but one of our previous podcast guests, Soap Creek, they confirmed what we're seeing. Apparently the shampoo and the conditioner in bar form is one of the more popular items that they produce. It's really innovative.
So I definitely, after seeing this trend, I want to learn more about the product, because for me, I feel like traveling with a solid form of shampoo and conditioner would be super cool. Not only just like for getting through security issues and whatever, but every time I travel, I have this fear that when I load up my liquid shampoo and conditioner, that it's going to somehow make its way out of its plastic baggie home and just ruin everything in my suitcase. And then by the time I get there, uh, uh, then I'll have, shampoo and conditioner
Extra
all over
shampoo.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's one of my traveling fears. But I put money on the fact that people who came up with these bars, they probably had this happen to them, and they're like, there must be a better way.
Yeah, this stuff comes from experience. It doesn't
Yeah,
just
exactly.
enter their dreams.
Necessity breeds invention, always.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate those insights. That was a great little recap of what we saw at Expo. Overall, I'm giving this year's Expo a thumbs up. It was a whole lot of fun and a lot of cool new products that it's always neat to see what people are able to dream up and bring to market. Walking the show floor this year, I noticed that some of the exhibitor spaces were empty, and heard that more people decided to walk the show this year rather than exhibit. Regardless of that, I thought Expo West remained a very vibrant show and a super worthwhile experience, at least for our team, echoed by those that we spoke with in the industry, friends and competitors and everybody else. All the buzz was that after the pandemic show shut down, we experienced a spike of visitors and exhibitors, and now it seems to have dropped a bit and leveled off. But I did hear that there were still like 800 new exhibitors this year. So it's still a place that new companies and brands are showcasing their product, and there's a lot of value there for all of us. The challenge, of course, is always the hefty cost to exhibit. It's not cheap, but very worthwhile. We found that some brands were leveraging the other opportunities at Expo West, between the wall-to-wall people in the organic marketplace to the brands that were partnering with their co-packers and sharing booths. There are some creative ways to take advantage of the big buyer audience without completely breaking the bank. So different options out there, and people getting creative with their expenditures around this event. Super smart that the Southern California chapter of the IFT moved Anaheim IFT show to the day before Expo West rather than the same day that Expo West main show opens. And it was held within a mile of the convention center, so it was super accessible. Smirk was exhibiting, and that place was just packed wall to wall with
very valuable.
Huge, great show.
I definitely agree. And I think as long as we have to do like the sidewalk shimmy while you're trying to go through the North Hall and like even the organic marketplace, I attempted to start my rounds one time and I just had to retreat out of pure like, nope, I'm not doing that. So I went back and stood at the booth because it is just so busy, so packed. And then even with the first 2 days of the, traditional show opening and we were in Hall B, our booth was just hopping. And it was just awesome because we had so many great conversations with the folks that we work with already. We had new people who stopping by our booths with a lot of really just interesting innovation projects. I think that's one thing that we're seeing a little bit more now. It was kind of there for a little while. Innovation, it seemed like it took maybe a back, seat to some of the other things. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like just in our day to day, I'm seeing more in that. And then at the show, it seemed like it was kind of reinforced there. And since we're all about, helping companies with their new projects, it's exciting for Smirks. We're certainly, there to sell ingredients, but we're also there just to help sell creative solutions. So we love it when people bring us those new ideas and ask for like, hey, is this possible? And we can do different benchtop work and we can kind of see what's the new trend before it's even hitting the show. And I think we're pretty well suited to help with that. But yeah, it's definitely still awesome to see those everyday ingredient needs for the existing items. And if we end up being someone's main supply chain or being a secondary supply chain just to ensure redundancy, that's what we're all about. So, we also hear questions like, hey, do you know a good co-packer who can do X, Y, Z? And that's what's kind of cool about the show is we have those partners there. And sometimes we can put people together right there on the spot. And, we have a lot of great partners walking away from the show being like, man, that was awesome. That was a great show. I got a lot done. And it could have just been because of some of the connections that we helped put together. So, even for that alone, Expo is such a great time. And I really enjoy getting to be a part of that piece of it.
Well, super cool that we can put people together face to face at that moment, instead of through Zoom calls and all. Yeah, awesome to see that innovation is back, being prioritized after the survival mode of the last few years. people are coming back out of the shells and getting creative again. It's going to be a lot of fun moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like the momentum has kept since the
Yes.
show. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it feels like it's been very busy.
Totally.
We're still having these we're continuing the conversations that we started to have with the people who we met at the show, and that's the whole goal. Is
Right.
to go there and develop these relationships and to, be the in effect be the company that can solve the problem that they're looking
Yeah.
for.
Put names to
So
faces, that kind
right,
of fun stuff.
meet the
Yeah.
people who you speak with on a weekly basis, but you don't necessarily see them every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being there to help. Even if we aren't in a position to offer a service or an ingredient, we love to connect people to a friend in the industry who can help, or at the end of the day, it's rewarding to be just a resource for people, whatever that looks like. So
It feels
I
good to
encourage
help.
people. Yeah, I encourage people to reach out to Smirks, even if you just want to pick our brains or pitch a project to us or let us know what you're working on. You can always call us or email us at what'snew@smirks.com.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. That was a ton of fun. I appreciate you both joining today. That was a good conversation, and it's fun to recap these things because it was such an overload of products and concepts and innovation and just cool stuff all around. So neat to download in this sort of a forum. We're not quite done here. In our next product feature segment, we're going to explore the ingredients found on various ExpoWest product ingredient decks. In particular, we're going to explore the category of gluten-free baked goods. So stay tuned for more content.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.